last few years, you Americans have complained a lot when it comes to video games, like delays and that kind of stuff. But you guys have it lucky. Really lucky. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to gaming, one of the worst countries to be in is right here in Australia. Now, don't give me this crap that Brazil or India and those kind of countries are bad. They're not bad, okay? Because, yes, I agree that they don't get what we get. But the fact of the matter is, where Australia stands in the economy-wise, in the global economy, it's pretty embarrassing when it comes down to it. Let's face it, being an Australian gamer can suck pretty much. And I'll give you a few reasons why. Number one, delays. Remember when Brawl was delayed for like a month back in the US? Like it was delayed for like a month, like it was originally supposed to be released in March, then it got delayed to April or something. We had to wait until July. That's right, we had to wait 3 extra months to get it. Most people resort to modding their Wii's and getting the US release, and it hurt our sales badly. The fact of the matter is that in most cases, even with consoles, we've had to wait until the very last, we're one of the last major countries to ever get consoles. 360, delayed. PS3, delayed like a year. The Wii actually came out pretty soon after the US release. In fact, we did in fact get the DSi before you guys, so finally got something. As for the latest great game from the Wii, Mad World, we were the last country to get that. We got 2 weeks after you guys. Nintendo Australia has had a long history of delaying games, long after the US and the European release. And they're trying. Barely. It sucks. It really does. Number 2, unreleases. Now there are certain games that never get out of Japan. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to Australia, there were some games during the SNES era that never even made it to our shores. Certain games like Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG, 2 of the best games in the SNES library, never made it to our shores. It took us 13 years to get Chrono Trigger on the DS. And it's just so happened recently that we got Super Mario RPG on the Virtual Console. But the fact of the matter is, this pisses me off to the fullest extent. Because I hate when companies like Nintendo say they're not planning on releasing these games in certain countries. That pisses me off because they don't give us a reason why. I have looked around the internet, I could never find a reason, an actual logical reason why the Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG were never released in Australia. There was no logical reason. And as for Fatal Frame 4, Nintendo, this is not 1995. You can't do this anymore. You can't just release some stupid statement saying you're going to release a game without any logical reasoning. You can't do it anymore. We're not kids anymore. That pisses me off. Give us a reason and I'll be happy. Just saying it is like you're talking to a bunch of kids. Number 3, pricing. You Yanks, you thought you had a bag with a $599 US price tag for the PS3? We would have prayed for that. Guess how much the PS3 cost after its delayed Australian release? $600? No. $700? You wish. The PS3, at launch, had a price tag of $1,000. I am not kidding. That's correct. That motherfucking monster sold for $1,000. That's right. Spend $1,000 on a PS3, spend $3,000 on a high-def TV to experience the true high-def quality graphics that the PS3 offers. Apparently. Yeah, that's real good business. So you can kiss my fucking ass. But here's the thing. Wii games, like big games like Mario and Zelda and Mad World and those kind of games, you're lucky to spend less than $100. Wii games until recently were $99 here in Australia. And the A-grade PS3 and the 360 titles went for a very steep $120. I felt like I was buying games for a Neo Geo. Look, I understand currency exchange, and the Australian dollar is pretty much the world finance's whipping boy, but this is just crazy. But fortunately, they heard our claims, and most new Wii games now being sold for $79, and now 360 and PS3 games are selling for $99. I don't know if it's because of the economy or because they're just, giving us a break. But the fact is, Wii games cost like half the price in the States, and well, 360 and PS3 games cost about $79. The fact that we have to save up for weeks and weeks on end to get a brand new Wii game or a PS3 360 game is just insane. But hey, that's the currency exchange. At least the 360 and the Wii are cheap in this country still. Woohoo. And finally, the last reason, which is pretty much the biggest reason why it sucks to be a gamer in this country. No R rating. There is not an R rating for video games in this country. If you don't meet the standards for MA15, your game gets banned. And the list of games that have been refused classification in this country is extraordinary. Upwards of over 50 games in the past 10 years have been refused classification in this country because one man is too stubborn not to allow this country an R rating. That's right. This is all down to one man. Take Jack Thompson, give him power. Ah! Yes, it scares me too. There is a man down under with the name Michael Atkinson. He is the Attorney General of South Australia. The Attorney Generals of every state and the National Attorney General decide on topics like giving an R rating for video games. And for some reason, the decision has to be unanimous. And the only person who disagrees with it is Michael Atkinson, who is doing this to protect children. But the problem is, Michael, you're exposing children to these R-rated games because games like Grand Theft Auto and Fallout 3, which were refused classification originally in this country, were edited marginally to get an MA rating. So you're not doing anything to protect children, you're exposing them to these games. Games like Fear 2, Silent Hill Homecoming, games like those have had to seek appeal, not editing, to get into this country. So Michael, I want you to explain to me your logic. I challenged you to a debate like 2 months ago and I didn't hear a response. Yet you issued your own challenge to actually have someone run against you for your seat in South Australia in the next federal election. Whew. Yes, I agree, being a gamer in Australia sucks. But back in the 90s, things were a lot harder. The internet wasn't around. If you didn't have any connections with people in the US or Japan, you pretty much were stuck with what you got here in Australia, and the prices too. But hopefully in the next 5 years, delays won't be as bad, pricing won't be as steep, and Michael Atkinson would have been shot in the head executioner style by some masked man with a machine gun. Don't look at me like that. You all want me to do it, don't you? And we'll have an R rating, hopefully. But until then, an Australian gamer sucks balls. Bottom line. I'm Enigma. Thank you for watching Enigma Uncensored. We'll see you again next time.